Hi, it's Dr. Aleksander here, and I'm just spending some time with my family on this beautiful island just outside of Dubrovnik in Croatia, one of the most beautiful cities in Croatia. And we rented out an entire island, a small island with a lighthouse. And many years people before used to live here, but now it has been made available to the public. And I'm spending here time to relax and, of course, to read and reflect and think about all the important goals and plans that I have for this year, for the next year. And one of the things that I highly recommend to people is to create their own mastermind groups. It's so important, it's so vital that you surround yourself with people who are more successful than yourself because they will drag you to success. They will help you become more successful. If you read the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill emphasizes how important it is to have your own mastermind group. But let me just share with you an idea that is also described in the Think and Grow Rich book, which is the virtual mastermind. The virtual mastermind is a mastermind of people who you perhaps never met, but they are in your head, in your mind. And it's like asking yourself, what would my mentor, what would my friend who is successful, or what would somebody else I don't even know do in my situation? And immediately you will get a little bit of their influence in your thinking. So how do you create your own virtual mastermind group? There is a special hypnotic technique where you can build your own virtual mastermind group, but you can do it very easily by simply reading about people who are successful the way you want to be successful, or reading about people who achieved what you want to achieve. And then when you do that, you start imagining in your mind. For example, you can close your eyes and you can start imagining in your mind talking to them, discussing with them your goals, perhaps even obstacles, issues, things you want to change, things you want to achieve, and so on, and getting feedback from them. Of course, it's not the same like speaking to them one-to-one, but it will help you. It will help you think differently. It will help you expand your boundaries and your thinking processes. I believe in the power of mastermind groups, and I believe even more in the power of virtual mastermind groups. So the more you spend time reading biographies of successful people, the more you spend time thinking the way they are thinking, the more you become different as a person. You will start behaving differently and also achieving different results. Many years ago, I read a book called The Snowball, which is in reality biography, but also biography with some ideas and thinking of Warren Buffett. And I believe this is a book that changed my life. But I keep having this book at the back of my car for many years. Now, it's because of all the sun and all the cold and so on, it's not really in a good condition. So I don't recommend you having books in your car. But to me, it's a symbol of making a big change, a big progress. And many times I ask myself, what would Warren Buffett do in this situation when I am, for example, about to invest in something? And the same way you should do yourself. So also in my virtual mastermind group, there are people like Sir Richard Branson, who I met live just once, but I read his books, I admire him. And by the way, he owns an island, the way I do now for these few days here. And he is, for me, a big, a person who really loves, enjoys life, but also a big mentor in terms of having fun and creating something that has never been created. And I think this is what we are about to do in our lives, to create something special, magnificent, that will stay also when we are gone, also when we are not here anymore. So every morning here I wake up very early because this small island is very famous for seagulls. There are so many different seagulls, especially around 5 a.m. when they wake me up. So usually I wake up very early by myself, but the seagulls are all around this small island, and their sounds, their voices wake me up, and then I start reading, thinking about my goals, doing my morning meditation and so on, my morning routine. And one of the part of this routine is also the virtual mastermind group, having mentors in my mind. And I would do sometimes very similarly, like Napoleon Hill recommends. So in my mind, in my head, I would have a table when I sit down different people, different mentors of mine, and I would simply ask them a question. What is the next step? What should I do? Or how should I deal with this situation? And what do you recommend me? And they each respond differently. It's still, all of this are still my ideas, my thinking processes. But to me, it helps me think differently, think and being more creative. And I tell you, in these few days that I'm here in this special place, surrounded by the nature, connected by the nature even more, I believe that the virtual mastermind works even better, even stronger. So what I recommend you to do is you start just reading biographies of people that you like, maybe even watching their films and so on that are they're made of, and so on, and then create your virtual mastermind in your mind. You just imagine in a room full of people that you would like to be part of your virtual mastermind. And the great news about the virtual mastermind is that you can have people who, for example, are no longer alive, or you can have people who are just characters in movies. They have never been alive, like for real. And you can have whoever you want in this virtual mastermind group, consult with them, talk to them, ask them questions about your progress, about your goals, about your limitations, about the next steps, and of course, act upon that. Make the changes that are based on your new thinking processes. So I encourage you to create your virtual mastermind. I encourage you to connect more with yourself, with the nature, and I encourage you to be the best you can be. Thank you so much for watching. I believe in you, and I believe that by creating your own virtual mastermind group, you can grow faster, you can create and have the goals and dreams you want to have. Thank you.